Welcome back. So in the pots today, we are actually going to be revisiting one of my older colorways. The colorway was called Among the Reeds, and it is still available, but there is a specific color in this colorway that really entices me. The way it strikes on the yarn is unique and absolutely beautiful. I just something about it. I really wanted to create a colorway that was based around this color. So what you're seeing right now is me pouring in that color. It is a little bit of moss green mixed with some charcoal and some gunmetal. So there's lots and lots of gray in it, but it's got an undertone of green. And what ends up happening is that gray kind of strikes first and the green kind of seeps down into the yarn itself and begins to show in other locations. So it is really cool. On the front side here, we are going to run the exact same color. I'm going to run 4 pots all the way across. So we've got lots and lots of dye in here. I really want to make sure that this is as saturated as possible. I did notice when I was doing Among the Reeds that this colorway tends to strike and not go as deep as I wanted. So I want a little extra dye in the pot itself. Now that that's done, we're going to take and cook it off here real quick. Flip it over and you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. That green's going to start to come through, that gray is going to be showing, and it is very cool and very unique the way that this works. And above that, I do want to throw a little splash of color in there. I don't want it to be so monotoned. Like, we are going to get a whole bunch of different colors coming out of this green, but I really don't want that to be, the center focus. I want that little splash of, just a little something extra, you know what I mean? So anyways, this colorway is called Uncharted. It is, I don't even know. I'm excited to create this colorway. I really am. We're going to take and do a little bit of a trench on the backside here. I just want to put that splash of color across the one side. I don't want it to go too far into the yarn itself. This was a technique that I kind of came up with when I was trying to do the assigned pooling. This yarn is definitely not going to do assigned pooling. We're going to get so many different color variations out of this one grayish green dye that I already know it's not going to work. So, but that's neither here nor there. This colorway was not designed to be assigned pooling. This one is going to be a unique dye that I am extremely excited to take and showcase just because of how the dye strikes on the yarn. That's one thing you need to keep in mind is how does your dye interact with each other? Do the different combinations strike at different times? Things of the sort, right? So get that mixed up. We're going to take and cook this off. And when I say cook, we're bringing it up to about 70 to 80 degrees Celsius, and we're going to cook it off for about 10 to 12 minutes. This one strikes really quick. I am expecting 0 dye to be left in the pots. This water should be crystal clear when we're all done here. So get this pulled up here real quick, and I think I'm right. There's nothing in there. Beautiful. Absolutely clear. That is exactly what we're going for. No wasted dye in any way, shape, or form. This zip tie is kind of stuck down under there. There we go. Get those pulled out. You can see that water is crystal clean. There is not a whole lot going on. Maybe just a tad brown. I don't think so. I think that's just the lighting. But another fun thing I did here is I made sure that we were doing all 4 of our bases. So this is my fingering weight, 80/20 fingering, merino nylon, superwash, 19.5 micron fibers, super duper soft, absolutely stunning. I'm fairly certain, even though this colorway strikes a little bit faster, that we've got saturation all the way through the skein. We'll find out as soon as we get to the caking process, that's for sure. This here is our DK weight, which is an 80/20 merino nylon. I do find that the DK tends to showcase a little bit more white than the other colors, or the other bases. Up next, we have our worsted weight base, which is 100% merino. Superwash, 19.5 micron. This here is my preferred base. It really is. Get that twisted up. I love this. By the way, this twister right here is the Romarin Hank. I bet you I'm butchering that name. Romarin Hank twister. It is a absolutely amazing machine. We probably do a good 20,000 skeins on these things before we have to really do any maintenance. So For the average person, these things are the cat's meow. You will probably never break this machine. We have troubles breaking this machine. It is a wonderful, wonderful machine and saves your arms. So win-win all across. Now let's get all 4 bases into the light box. So we have our fingering weight right there. The green, it's not really coming through as well as I would hope in this light box, but I promise you there is just the tiniest hint of green. You can kind of see it on the DK weight there. It showcases it a little bit better. Up next, we have the worsted weight base. You can see that it actually dyed up really, really dark, which is kind of cool. Usually my fingering weight base and my worsted base dye up almost exactly the same, which is weird considering they're made up of two different bases, right? One of them's got nylon, one of them is straight merino, and up next to that is our chunky weight base, which is super duper soft. It's like working with clouds. It really is. Okay, over to the swatch machine here, the Addy Express, that you should definitely not use a drill on because that would be bad. As you see this spinning around, there's not a lot of patterning going on, which is kind of cool considering that this is mostly just a single color throughout the entire pot. I literally did 7 out of 8 jugs, a single color. So you can definitely see the variation going on here. We've got that little hint of brown, which is so cool to see it pop up through the skein. Then you got that green, you've got that gray. Just look at all of these colors kind of coming off. Throw it into the light box here. You can really showcase everything that's going on. Again, you get that tiniest little hint of green coming through, and then just that super duper rich brown that I am absolutely in love with. I'm going to throw a fingering weight skein on top of that just so you can kind of see how these things play out. This swatch, by the way, was done on our worsted weight. So moving on, throwing this into the Swift, we have our chunky weight base. I don't think I've done a cake on a chunky weight base yet for you guys, so I just wanted to take and showcase that. This here is 100% merino, feels like clouds, so soft, so fluffy, you can literally see it. It's got 3 ties on it, as you can see, 1, 2, 3. I thought there was 4, but there's only 3 on this one. Sometimes there's 4, all depends. Yeah, anyways. When you're doing these, you can grab the 3 ties. You're going to see that it is a single strand. And if you kind of pull these apart, you can kind of see they basically go halfway through, give it a twist, and then wrap it around the other half. If you cut it close to the knot like so, there's no chance of you cutting anything extra. On this one here, there are 4 strands. So 2 of them are going to be basically the tie holding the hank together. We've got one that kind of wraps around one side, one that wraps around the other side. That's the start and finish of your hank. So again, if we kind of look in here, it's kind of tough to see, but basically it wraps around, twists, and then comes back. I like to cut these as close to the knot as possible so you don't make sure that you're, cutting a strand that you're not supposed to. You can see this one strand here kind of tucks in behind. Sometimes that's not the case, but at least on this one, it is fairly obvious which one is which. So, and the other one should just wrap around the front like so. Nice and easy. Give it a few pulls, make sure everything comes off nice and smooth. Into the caker, also made by Romarin. Another wonderful machine. I think I've burnt out a few of these, but they take a lot of abuse from me. So tons of cakes go through these things. For the average person, I think you would have a lot of trouble burning this thing out. If you like these machines, head over to Romarin, check them out. I have nothing but glorious reviews for the team over at Romarin. They are an awesome company to deal with, so go check them out for sure. Back to this cake, there is only 100 meters in our chunky weight base, so these cake up extremely fast. I do find when we're talking about cakes, they're not as pretty as the DK weights or the fingering weight, but that doesn't really matter when it comes to a cake, does it? So get that tucked in. Let's get these into the light box, spin this around. You can see it is very, very uniform. So the outside of the cake, the inside of the cake, pretty much the same color. That's a sign that it was mixed correctly. We push that dye down nice and deep, and there's no white spots to really worry about. So on to my favorite part of these videos. Let's do the pairings. So we have Uncharted. Up next to that, We have its inspiration, which was Among the Reeds, a beautiful colorway, and you can kind of see where that grayish green's coming through there, right? Now on the other side here, we have Horsing Around, which has got that little tinge of green to it and just that wonderful brown that is quite apparent in Uncharted there. Beautiful combination. If I was going for the 3 skein set, this is probably the direction I would go. One lighter, one darker. Stunning, stunning combination for sure. Up beside that, we have our new colorway, Whispers from the Woods. Nice little forest theme going on here. It really pushes into the green side of things while holding on to that beautiful, beautiful brown that really, I'm going to call it a bold brown. It really is. And for me, browns and greens is where it's at. I know I say that every video, but it really is. Now, up beside that, we have Shadow of Giants. So it's got a little bit of that chestnut in it, lots of white, and then that dark, nice gray to it. Now, this one here is back to my roots. It is the greeniest of greens that I have ever held in my hands. I love, love, love this colorway. It's got a little bit of that orangey brown to it as well. It is a stunning finishing skein for that combo. Absolutely love that colorway. Back to my roots. Go check it out. Okay, on to the semi-solids. First up, we have Uncharted. Up beside that, I have Underbrush. Underbrush is an underrated semi-solid. It really is. So this has got that grayish green tinge to it, and it is a very beautiful combination for Uncharted there. Up beside that, I think I'm gonna throw the chestnut just because it kind of pairs into the brown there. I was thinking mouse gray, but the chestnut and the brown kind of play really well together. If I was going for a 3 skein set, I would probably look at the Underbrush and chestnut. Mouse gray, a very close second, of course. And then up beside that, we have forest green, of course, if you're looking to take and push off into the green side of things. Forest green and Underbrush really do pair quite well together, so I would also consider that a beautiful 3 skein set. And then finally, if you're looking for the safe route, I would probably look at the charcoal. Charcoal is just kind of one of those that doesn't really take away from the colorway, so it's really, really easy to pair it up with just about everything. It is time for the big reveal, of course. Here we go. So we've got those greens, we've got those browns, that little grayish tinge to it. I really, really like how this colorway came out. It is beautiful. There's that swatch, of course. Last photo of every single listing on the website has a swatch. Go check them out. There's the inspiration. Beautiful, beautiful set. Ready to rock. Thank you so much for stopping by. Let's do it again sometime. We'll see you again soon.